Welcome to the Cell Soul Source podcast. I'm Jackie, a chiropractor, yogi, and Akashic reader, and I'm here to activate healing in light workers of all kinds so they can serve from an empowered place and fulfill their purpose with ease, awe, and wonder. Today, we're going to dive deep into why your energy bodies win hands down every time over your brain when it comes to up-leveling. So let's dive into the brain part first. Your brain is a predictor. It gathers all the information at its disposal and then it predicts a likely outcome. And it does this on information that it has related to the past. So it uses past experiences, past lessons, past environments, past people to come up with a likely scenario and predict the outcome. And I'm going to share with you a little bit of pain science, and we'll leave the link below because this video is really funny anyway. But it's a guy called Lorimer Moseley, and he deals really deeply with modern pain science. And he tells this story of walking through the bush, something touches the skin on the outside of his leg. That information is carried to his spine, up his spine, and into his brain. And when his brain receives all this information, it's got to collate it and decide, is this a dangerous situation or not? What level of danger signal or pain do I need to send in this circumstance? So it starts to gather, have we been in this environment before? Yes, we have. Have we been in this situation before? Yes, we have. Has this thing happened to us before? Yes, it has. Was it dangerous? No. And so it doesn't elicit a response. And in Lorimer Moseley's case, in this particular instance, it was actually a snake bite. So he was fine, obviously. And then roll on a few months, and the same thing happens. He's walking through the bush, and something touches the skin on the outside of his leg. So that information is transmitted to his spine. It goes all the way up into the brain, and the brain collates all the information at its disposal, and it goes, oh shoot, the last time this happened, it was really bad. So I'm going to send a really big danger signal. And he feels red hot poker pain. But in reality, what has happened is a twig has just brushed by his leg. So I think that's a fantastic way to illustrate that your brain is just a predictor. It doesn't always tell you the truth. It is designed to keep you alive and keep you safe. So everything it does with love. So if you are happy in the lane you are in with the reality that you're experiencing, then using your brain is a wonderful idea because it can predict what's happening. You can go into autopilot a lot of the time. You can conserve energy. How wonderful. Imagine if every morning when you woke up, you had to remember how to brush your teeth. You had to engage loads of, brain space and energy to remember how to brush your teeth. So thank goodness we have these programs that run in the background. But when you are trying to change lanes and experience something different, something new, something that you've never experienced before, then the brain is going to struggle because it doesn't have a point of reference. It doesn't have information that it can call on and collate to predict a likely outcome. So when you're trying to up-level, quantum leap, collapse time, change your reality, change how you work, sometimes your brain can actually hold you back. It can throw up all sorts of resistance that will slow you down, make you hesitate, make you doubt yourself. And this is where your energy bodies come in. because your energy bodies give you feedback that's telling you the truth for you in that moment. So it doesn't rely on anything from the past. And your energy bodies give you feedback related to your highest good and healing. So your best possible outcome. So sometimes your energy bodies will take you in a direction that your brain goes, "Oh, I don't feel comfortable with this." And that's why you have to learn how to trust the feedback from your energy bodies, so that in that moment you can choose to go, I see that my brain is having a wobble about this. And I know that that is because we're going into territory that it doesn't know. It doesn't like unfamiliar. And so it's going to try and keep me where I am so that it knows I'm safe. But one of my energy bodies is telling me that I need to do this thing. And when you start to lean into that and trust it and do the thing, and then realize why you were encouraged to do that thing in the first place, you start to build the trust. And when I teach people, I start with really, really small things so that you can understand how each energy body speaks specifically to you. So now we're getting into new territory where you're not copying somebody else's strategy. You're not implementing an XYZ, method. You're not using a cookie cutter method. You are using your own internal guidance system that tells you the truth for you right now. They literally show you your next right step. And so your Akashic records can also be used in this situation. Because if there was this time in 1980 where you were walking through the bush and something touched the outside of your leg and it turned out to be a snake, and that is still embedded in your field, and every time you come into a situation that's similar, you get a massive danger response, you get a massive feedback. We can literally go into your Akashic records and we can find that. We can find that time in 1980 where you were, stung by, bitten by the snake, and we can dissolve that impression in your Akashic record, which means your body, your nervous system, your energy bodies, your brain don't keep reacting to that same thing in the same way. So now when you change lanes, you can lean into your emotional body, for example. I'm noticing that I'm feeling judgment right now. What is that showing me about the situation that I'm in? Oh, I need to allow myself to rest more, for example. Or when you feel excited about something, that's your energetic body saying, yep, there's something here for you. And your brain might go, What do you mean we have to go to this class on a Tuesday night? Why? A Tuesday night, you just want to stay home. You just want to stay on the sofa where you're nice and comfortable and where I can take care of you and I know that you're safe. But your energy bodies have given you this excitement, so you decide that you're going to follow it. And when you go to that class on a Tuesday night, who knows what's going to happen? Maybe you meet your next business partner, romantic partner. Maybe somebody just says something and it sparks a seed inside of you. And then you know what your next right step is. So unfortunately, our mission and our purpose doesn't just jump out at us with jazz hands on going, hey, this is for you. It's more like a following the breadcrumbs scenario. So I used to say that I was just jumping on the next lily pad that presented itself to me that felt right. And that's what happens. As you take action on one step, So the next step is revealed to you. And you carry on going like that until you start to put all the puzzle pieces together and go, oh, now I know why I had to go to that class on a Tuesday night, because that's the piece of information that I need now to do the next bit. So your energy bodies help you out in just the massive quest game of life. And once you start to understand how they're speaking to you and how to leverage that information, because remember, it's not enough to just understand. I understood what my energy bodies were, but I wasn't implementing them. I wasn't integrating them into my life. And so I didn't see any changes. But it's when you start to leverage the information and take the aligned action. And the more you trust, the faster you'll take the action, the more things will flow, and the more things will blow up for you. And the shifts that we're talking about are simple, because if you take, for example, when I was in burnout and overwhelm, I've written about it recently, about being in compassion fatigue. That's all feedback that you can leverage. But when you're in that situation, you don't have a lot of energy, don't have a lot of spare time, and you don't have a lot of bandwidth to be doing massive, big, sweeping life changes. And so the shifts that you do are those simple shifts that you can do in the moment that just keep you in the flow. When I was in burnout and overwhelm, I couldn't have used my brain to think myself out of that situation if I tried. By that stage, I was so numb, my brain couldn't be in solution mode. Solution mode is a completely different part of your brain. I was just in reaction mode, just trying to keep my head above water. And so I couldn't have used my brain to think myself out of it. And my brain could only give me information based on the past. I didn't want more of the same. I wanted something different. And so the very, very first thing I followed was what excited me. And I allowed myself to follow that without analyzing it, without letting my brain talk me out of it. I just kept following it. And my life just kept getting better and better and better. And it kept getting closer to that dream life that I had written about in my journal. Because all of the little micro moments all started to stack in the same direction. And then you open your eyes and you go, wow, this is the life that I was dreaming of. And I just did it in small incremental steps, using my energy bodies to show me what is right for me, what is wrong for me. Sometimes it's not as black and white as that. And I had to start with doing more of the things that felt right and less of the things that didn't. So it doesn't have to be this massive pendulum swing from one job to another, one niche to another. You don't have to do it in a pendulum swing. Your nervous system will actually get quite twitchy if you do it in that way. But if you just take the next right step that your energy bodies are showing you, it's not scary. It's not a gamble. It just feels natural, like your next natural step. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And the more it all starts to stack until you've got oodles of energy and you're working in the way that lights you up. You start to attract the kind of people who are really interested in the work that you're doing. And it all starts to feel exciting and light. Your passion comes back. So if you are new to working with your energy bodies, then I will leave a link down below. I've got a program called Feedback to Breakthrough, and it'll give you the training, but it'll also give you the exercises so that you can start to learn how to integrate it into your day. And remember, I started really, really small on things that don't matter. It doesn't matter if you get it wrong. But now, because I trust it so much, I use it to make big decisions where my brain is going, whoa, let's think about this. And I've already moved and done it. And it doesn't feel scary. I know how to speak to my brain. I know how to soothe it. I know exactly what's happening. I know exactly what it's trying to do. But I also know that my energy bodies know where the gold is. They know the destination point. They know where we're going. And so I follow them implicitly. And since I've been doing that, my life has been unrecognizable. And that's why I'm so passionate about sharing this with healers. Because we often think that we got to, do it the way we've always done it. But we don't. We get to have both. We get to vibe on life. We get to live a full life, and we get to support our favorite humans. We get to have both. It doesn't mean because we're a healer, we're, doomed to a life of self-sacrifice and martyrdom and all of the things that I used to do. So get in tune with your energy bodies, start leveraging them, jump on the Feedback to Breakthrough little mini series. It's an email drop over 5 days. You will know exactly how your energy bodies speak to you so that eventually when it comes to the bigger decisions, you'll go, I know that feeling. It's a yes. Yep, I know that's a no for me. And that's how you start to move faster, because you can move faster than your brain will allow, particularly when you're doing something new that it doesn't have a frame of reference for, it doesn't have evidence for, it doesn't have experience for. You've got to start leaning into your energy bodies. They always tell you the truth. As always, send me a DM on Instagram, and I'll look forward to connecting with you on the next podcast. I am rooting for you. We rise together. If you feel called, please rate and review. I would really appreciate that.